You are listening to Grim and Stone, the Mountain Perspective. This podcast may contain objectionable language.
Welcome to Grim and Stone, the Mountain Perspective. This is our take on what's happening in the world. How you doing, Stoney?
I'm doing pretty well today.
Good to go. All right, let's get right into this. Sticking with my good news kind of stuff. Soldier gets rare double arm transplant.
Ooh.
In Baltimore, perched on a therapy table at Johns Hopkins Hospital, one of the few quadruple amputees from the Iraq War reaches over his head with both hands and launches a pink ball to the Marine Corps Commandant. 5 months ago, Army Sergeant Brendan Maracos' arms belonged to someone else. But he now has arms.
And they work, apparently.
And they work. And he's got a big old smile on his face.
Outstanding.
So, let's see. He was blown up in 2009. And this is the first soldier to receive a double arm transplant. And just the 7th successful recipient in the United States.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah. Let's see. He didn't have any physical sensation of the plastic ball in his hands, but he managed a pretty good zip as he played catch with General James Amos on Wednesday. So he may not be able to feel him just yet or whatever, but he's on his way. So good for him.
No kidding. That's great.
All right. Sticking with that theme, amputee soldier graduates air assault. And we all know how tough those schools are.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to read the whole first paragraph here. Actually, the first two. Because it tells an interesting story. For almost 12 miles, he's been carrying 35 pounds of gear. He sees a clock in the near distance with the red digital numbers closing in on the 3-hour mark, the time limit for the near half-marathon march. He wants to sprint to fit to the finish line, but his face winces every right step taken. His breaths are heavy, and pain can be heard with each inhale. His left leg is in full stride, but his right, being amputated more than 6 years ago, now pushes forward on a damaged prosthetic. A piston broke a few miles back, eliminating fluid motion. He picks up a faster but still limping pace. Sweat drips into his eyes, and his fists are clenched tight as he approaches the finish line with 2 minutes to spare. That's determination right there, bro.
Yeah, that's one tough bugger. It was hard enough doing with 2 legs.
Yeah, he did it with 1.
Well, I guess I got nothing to whine about.
Well, see, now stories like this, I'm like, okay, he's missing a limb, and he's able to stay in and fight and do what he's got to do, and that's, I mean, no negative toward this man whatsoever. Good for him.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Let me get this young man's name. Sergeant First Class Greg Robinson.
Huh.
And, and I got booted for a bum knee.
Yeah. Well, I went through air assault and they wouldn't allow me to graduate because they found out I was on medical hold.
But, no, good for him, though.
No kidding. That's great.
So,
those are the guys that we need.
Oh, shit, man. That's friggin' hardcore.
Yep.
I mean, you just don't. A lot of people wouldn't bounce back from something like that. And then that guy with the 2 arms. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah, we got nothing to complain about.
Nope. Alrighty. Here we go. Let's go right into the famous veteran.
Okay.
This is kind of a neat story. Born R. David Thomas in Atlantic City on July 2nd, 1932. Dave's earliest memories at age 5 is the death of his stepmother. His stepfather was a... Hold on. I don't like the way they wrote that. Okay, the death of his stepmother. His stepfather was a gruff man, and the only time they would spend time together was eating out in restaurants. Eating out was something Dave loved because he could watch other families be together. Dave was only 12 when he got his first job in a restaurant. His family moved to a trailer park in Fort Wayne, and Dave made his restaurant job at the Hobby House his home away from home. He dropped out of high school, moved in with the family who owned the Hobby House, and focused on ways to promote the restaurant. During the Korean War, he volunteered for the Army to avoid the draft and to have some choices and assignments. So that was a pretty smart move.
Yeah. Well, he's a smart guy.
Yeah. Thomas chose cook and baker school at Fort Benning, Georgia, and was sent overseas to Germany as a mess sergeant and was responsible for feeding 2,000 soldiers daily. He attributes his experience in mass feedings to his success in fast food. He was discharged in 1953 as a staff sergeant. He was then offered a chance to turn around the failing Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant. Working with Colonel Sanders, Dave turned the failing stores into a multi-million-dollar success. In 1969, he opened his own hamburger stand on a corner in Columbus, Ohio. He named the stand Wendy's, after his youngest of 5 children. It was an instant hit. Within 10 years, the stand grew into an empire of 2,000 franchises. But with the rapid growth, the business hit bad times. In response, Dave took to the airways as spokesman for the company, and people came back in droves. So Dave Thomas, founder of Wendy's, is our famous veteran of the day. So big salute to Dave Thomas, and rest in peace, buddy. Yeah, he's been gone a while now.
Yeah, he has.
Go ahead.
A big hospital down south. I can't remember. It might be Memphis or Atlanta. That basically he funded. Children's Hospital.
Yep, he's a good guy. But there you go. That's all I got, and all I have left is weather.
Alrighty. Well, get right into this. We'll start out with some farm news.
Okay.
Safety group blows the lid on a secret virus hidden in GMO crops. You know how I feel about GMOs.
Yeah.
Well, the European Food Safety Authority reviewed some information, some tests and scientific reports and research data, whatever, and issued this report. And the report's available online to read. But they discovered a previously unknown viral gene known as gene 6. And this gene is found in the most prominent GMO crops, and 63% of GMO traits approved for use. Now, traits being what they are genetically modifying food product to do. You know, they're either combating a certain bug or a certain mold or whatever. 63% of approved traits have this gene in them. But
Okay.
this gene can disrupt the biological functions of living organisms.
Wait a minute.
Now,
I'm a living organism,
yes, sir, you are.
and if I eat these vegetables with this thing in it, will it disrupt my biological functions?
It has that potential.
Oh, that's awesome.
It inhibits what's called RNA silencing. Now, if you know anything about biology, you have DNA and you have RNA. DNA is kind of your
Building blocks?
building blocks. It's kind of the map that new cells follow, because every cell in your body is identical until DNA tells it, okay, you're going to go over here and do this. You're going to be a liver. You're going to be a hair follicle. You're going to do this and that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, RNA is kind of the traffic cop of all that, and it controls the traffic that DNA directs. All right?
All right.
So, RNA silencing is it's the function of gene expression when it comes to RNA directions. So your DNA says you're going to be a liver cell. RNA says you need to go in here and you need to take this protein and this mineral and you need to mold into this particular shape with these receptors and implant.
So that you can be a functioning liver cell.
Right. Well, this gene 7 or gene 6, VI, inhibits that. And what it does do is it helps virus particles to assemble into mass particles. It inhibits your natural defense that's built into the cellular system. It produces proteins that can be problematic because the cellular processing of proteins is inhibited. And it can make plants susceptible to bacterial pathogens, which we then eat.
That's just awesome.
Yeah. So there's my kick in the teeth for GMOs for the day.
Good. Bastards. Trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Well, because doesn't RNA help in the combating of say cancer?
When it develops the cells, when the cells are directed to fight cancer, RNA is what tells it how to develop into that cell. Yes.
So killing or silencing the traffic cop who gives out the directions on how to combat crap.
Yeah.
The bad crap can just run wild then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. And
I'm never eating grocery store stuff again.
This report came from Europe, the European Food Safety Authority, and so it's kind of irrelevant to us here in America because our government is owned by these people.
Can you give me a link to that, please?
Yeah. And then sticking with food, let's go to the UN, one of my favorite assemblies.
You're just full of good news today.
The UN says the Food and Agriculture Organization of the UN has issued a report that it says could help boost nutrition and reduce pollution if people would consume more of these particular items that are underutilized as food by people and livestock. We could increase farming. We could increase farming security, food security. They're high in nutrition with protein, fat, and mineral content. They're particularly important as a food supplement for undernourished children. They're extremely efficient in converting food stuffs into edible meat.
Whoa, what?
Now, here's the headline. UN urges people to eat insects to fight world hunger.
I mean, granted, people like you and I have eaten our fair share of bugs.
Yeah.
But it was by necessity.
Yeah. Yeah. So not only is our standard food supply, now you got to remember a lot of these GMO products are being produced for animal feed, okay, which we eat. So a lot of our food supply is being screwed up, food, meat and vegetable wise, which the U.S. government chooses to ignore. And the response from the United Nations is eat more bugs.
No.
And we're talking grubs, grasshoppers.
Grasshoppers are gross.
Dung beetles, caterpillars.
Dung beetles.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I'm not doing that. Can you send me a link to that too, please? I'm just gonna just send me a link to everything that you're going to be talking about, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to just post links to everything in the description in the YouTube page.
So we've got the GMOs are potentially disrupting our RNA functions, and the BBC or the UN response is eat more bugs, and that's the farm news for today.
Man, yuck.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
All right, let's move on. This I picked this one because it follows a conversation that we were having earlier today.
Okay.
Spencertown, New York, date May 12th. Man completes handwritten Bible after 7 years.
Oh, yes. Okay.
In front of a small crowd at a church in New York, a man named Philip Patterson completed his handwritten King James Bible after working on it for 7 years. Patterson said he was encouraged to handwrite the Bible by his late partner, Muhammad, a Muslim. Said he was encouraged to handwrite the Bible by his late partner, Muhammad, a Muslim. He wrote the final words in front of a gathering at the St. Peter's Presbyterian Church in Spencertown. Patterson said he learned some things in the process, and the quote they chose is, "You have to think for yourself." I like that.
Yep.
Despite suffering from AIDS, Patterson said he never doubted that he'd complete this Bible. He says it was almost as something in the universe spoke to me in its own language, adding that he was in the zone whenever he was writing in the book. Now that it's finished, he plans to continue his life in the community. And there you go.
Wow.
7 years, suffering from AIDS. His late partner, who was a Muslim, encouraged him to do this, but he spent 7 years and hand wrote his own King James Bible.
Wow.
So kudos to Philip Patterson for accomplishing such a hefty task.
No kidding.
Especially under such diversity.
Goodness.
And so there's the good news. Let's go to the bad news.
You just had to do it.
Yeah, you're going to love this one. This one, I will tell you before I read it.
This is not a booger story, is it?
No. Well, there were probably boogers involved, but they didn't mention them.
Okay.
I'll start this one off with comments. Obviously products of the shallowest end of the gene pool.
Okay.
Darwin Award candidates.
Oh, okay. This could be actually rather fun and interesting then.
Dozed off. Well, I'll skip that part. A Darwin Award in the making. These are the comments.
All right.
Now I'll read the story. Two 13-year-old Pennsylvania girls. Now this is okay. sorry to the families for their loss and suffering, and it's a horrible, horrible thing. But here we go.
It's life lesson time.
Oh God. Two 13-year-old Pennsylvania girls dozed off while sunbathing on a rural road.
What?
And were hit by a car driven by a cousin of one of the girls.
Okay, I'm trying not to laugh.
The county police department said that girl A and girl B were flown to the hospital where they were listed in fair condition. Okay, apparently they did live, so
Okay.
we can send them their Darwin Award.
No, they didn't die in the process,
Apparently not.
so they don't earn the Darwin Award.
Well, they earned the Darwin Award because they were sunbathing in the road and got run over. Police investigated and said that the 19-year-old driver had stopped at an intersection before making a turn and hitting the two girls, and listed it as an accident. Okay, now
I'm gonna go ahead and laugh. They lived. I can laugh.
and we're going to send a third Darwin Award out to the cousin, because how do you drive down a road and not see two people laying in the middle of the frickin' road?
Good God.
So, luckily for us, they're all in the same family unit. So the gene issue here is restricted.
God, yeah, they should really release those names when those
they
girls.
did.
Okay, when they turn 18, they just need to be yanked.
Yeah.
Oh, that is just.
Yeah, hey, let's go sunbathe in the middle of the road.
I mean, I wouldn't do that on our road, and we don't have a lot of traffic here.
No, because most of our neighbors would run us over whether they saw us or not.
Well, there is that.
But, yeah, so they're... Good Lord. That's all I have today.
Okay, yeah, I think they get Darwin Award honorable mention. I don't think they actually win the official award.
Yeah.
So that is just, brilliant.
Don't stay
Absolutely.
in traffic. Okay.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Well, today we're going to do weather now, and we're going to Mishawaka, Indiana. Mishawaka, Indiana.
Okay.
And that's for one of our sisters in arms, Judy, who we were stationed with in 141 Signal. And so right now this is nice. It's 56 degrees. Wind north by northwest at 11 miles an hour. Humidity of 26%. Oh, that's glorious. I could be quite happy there right now. That's wonderful. Today they're looking at this is awesome. Yeah, right now it's 56. Today the high will be 54. Wind out of the northwest at 15 miles an hour with a humidity of 33%. And tonight they're looking at 45 degrees with a 20% chance of rain. Wind out of the south by southwest at 12 miles an hour with a humidity of 46%. So, there you go, Judy. Hope you're feeling better, dear. But, there you go. I think that about does it. We done?
I think we're done.
Okay, today's what? Monday? All right, so we will see the rest of... Let's see. I'll see you soon, and the rest of you will talk to you on Thursday.
Keep your powder dry.